There are many traditions in scouting when it comes to the holidays. Let's talk a lot about all the different things that go on this time of year. Hey, ScouterStan, Merry Christmas. It's tomorrow, right? When this actually goes up, it'll be Christmas Eve. And there are tons of traditions within scouting. All the packs that are out there and all the troops and all the different crews and sea ships. We've got a lot of traditions. And some of those can be very reminiscent of the past. If you've been in scouting for a long time, they can really bring back some really great memories. And it's a lot of fun. One of the classic holiday traditions that are out there that's been there for a long time is a gift exchange. Now, typically, this is like $5, okay? And you could actually put together some things that an assistant scoutmaster or patrol leader would like to have, okay? And it can be different things. I would recommend that in a troop you keep the youth going one direction just for them, and anything for the adults would just be the adults. That way the youth can focus on what they like for their peers, and vice versa. For the adults. So setting a limit of, say, $5, you can get some really nice camp gear, whether it be clips or different kinds of keychains and different specialty items. You can even get flashlights and all kinds of ropes and lots of stuff that scouts and scouters would like. Now, typically the pack or the troop and even the crew and ship will have a seasonal party. This party can be very specialized. If your unit is based at a church and it's mostly all of the participants in it are Christian, then Christmas is the focus. If you meet in a synagogue and it's only Jewish scouts that are involved, then you need to talk about Hanukkah. Okay, so it varies depending on the holiday, what kind of party you're going to put together for your unit. So keep that in mind, especially when it comes to your type of party. It could be a potluck. Potlucks are awesome. I think it's awesome. It's always nice to taste other cuisines, other different foods from the holidays. There should be one person that's in charge of the main thing, whether it be turkey or a ham. And again, you have to keep the dietary requirements for your celebration to your group. So that's something that needs to be done. So you have your main item, and then everybody brings a side. And then you can have different groups of sides. You could have salads and potatoes and then different vegetables. You could have those. So it's a mix. So there's ways to organize that, believe me. And scouting has been doing it for a very long time. Service projects, the heart of scouting. This is something that we do during the seasons, during the celebration of this time of year. We do that all for every year out there. So and hopefully for every year in the future. Service projects are one of those things that we do. It's a natural for us. Now, whether it be collecting toys for tots, being able to help out at different events at your venue, like if you're chartered with a church, there's different services that they may have that you can help out as a scout. These are services to the community, to your community, to what you actually do. And it's so important that we give back to those who give us so much all year long. And that's your charter, okay? They give you the ability to have meetings, the ability to go to summer camp, the ability to earn merit badges and be a senior patrol leader and do those things. That's what the charter does. It gives you that ability to do all that. So being gracious and thankful back to that charter is almost a Scout prerequisite. It's kind of expected, and it comes from the heart. It's the heart of Scouting. In fact, it's in the middle of our oath to help others at all times. Now, a lot of communities will have a parade or some kind of public celebration. I know that some towns do fundraisers for Toys for Tots with races, like they will do a jog or a run that they could put together. So a troop could actually go and help that. Set up a water table, or set up different things for different activities. Take care of filling trash cans, or being able to take the old trash out and put the new bag in, and that kind of thing. You know, doing the trash. There's a lot of activities that Scouts do this time of year as a natural. Now, throughout the year, your troop has done different activities for the local food bank. This is something like Scouting for Food. There's different programs throughout the year. Depending on your area, will depend on when that actually occurs. So it's important that Scouts get that opportunity to give back to their community and really live up to the Scout Oath. And if you have a chance, please check out that video on the Scout Oath and Scout Law. They're so pivotal and important, and to the core of the values of Scouting. It's so important. So definitely have a chance to go and view that video. A Scout is reverent, and how we show that reverence is very important. There's a lot of service projects, like putting wreaths on military graves. This is something that happens every year. Even flags during the summer for July. These are wonderful activities that we give back to the community, and it's important to show our reverence, especially this time of year. Now, having an interfaith service, what we call Scout Zone in Scouting America, is a wonderful way to give back within your own troop. This is a wonderful thing that your Scout leaders, the adult leaders, can actually help the youth put together a wonderful program that is according to your own faith of those that are participating in that unit. That way they can actually participate in that service. It's a wonderful way to reinforce that reverence that we give in Scouting. This is also an opportunity for the troops chaplain or the chaplain's aide, the youth. They can actually put together some kind of program that would really be wonderful to do for the Scouts within your unit. Winter camping and outdoor adventures during the winter can be quite challenging, especially up north. I live in Central Florida, and because of that, the weather's kind of temperate, but rather wet this time of year. But it's important to understand that you can go camping when there's snow on the ground. That is possible. Usually with most troops, there's tent camping. Once there's snow on the ground, that means there's frost in the actual ground. You really can't get a tent peg in, and it becomes windy and cold and not possible. So at that point, usually your unit is doing indoor things. It could be a what they call a lock-in, at your charter. Then you can do all kinds of neat things there, or you could be at cabins. Cabin camping is totally fine. That's depending on your area, and there's a lot of winter sports that are out there. Everything from snowboarding and skiing and ice skating and things like that can be done. And then, of course, your nice little campfire to get around and roast some marshmallows. These are winter things that your unit can do. It's not like because it snows and it's really cold outside that that's the end of camping. You can still go and do things outdoors safely. So always keep that in mind. Hey, before we go any further, I want to make sure that you're invited to the campfire chat. Now, this is our live meeting we have each month on the first Sunday, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. This is a fantastic way to get involved with live chat, and we have special guests. We have all kinds of neat things that go on. So definitely check that out. I also want to thank all of the Patreon members of this channel. In addition to that, I also want to thank all of the channel members right here on this channel. They have a fantastic group of people on this channel. They get a lot of perks. They get a lot of little icons and all kinds of neat stuff. But definitely check that out. If you're interested in becoming a member, definitely hit the little join button. It'll tell you more information. That's a great way to make this channel even better. Make it a part of what you do. And I'm so proud of you. We're just gonna jump right back in. Giving back within the troop. This is something that's critical for packs and crews also. You have to say thank you. It is so important. It is all too easy just to take for granted all of the fine adult leadership that you have. You need to say thank you and mean it, because without the adult volunteers volunteering their time, volunteering their nerves, okay, especially with Cub Scouts, it's important to say thank you meaningfully, especially at whatever end of the year kind of service you want to put together. That's very important, that you are gracious and say thank you for your leaders, for your volunteers, your parents that have stood up and really put in for the benefit of your unit. And at the very end of the year, it's important for the Scoutmaster or the Cub Master to kind of stand up and do a little reflecting on the past year. I know as a Scoutmaster or a Cub Master, it can be very difficult, but reflect on some of the fun things that happened, some of the good things that happened, and how those things could not even exist without scouting. Is so critical that we recognize we're in a great program. This is a wonderful thing. People that don't know can criticize because they don't know. We are here. We are part of what scouting is about. We are the answers to their problems. So think of it that way. So be grateful and gracious. It's very important. It's also a great time to thank people for setting their goals for the next year. That is so important. We need to be looking at the long path, okay? We can't let the past hold us back. We have to go down that path and make sure that we are ready for the challenges of tomorrow. And that's what we're doing in scouting. We're helping America's youth, the teenagers, the youth in a troop, the teenagers. For a pack, you've got all the different age groups, everything from kindergarten all the way up. The thing is, in a pack, you're helping them build character. Without that character, they have no future. So it's not going to be good. So once they go into a troop, that's the neat thing. When they're in a troop, they've got that ability to have really great skills given to them. Leadership skills, different life skills, merit badges, teaching different skills within the work world. So these are things that happen in scouting. It is just wonderful. It's an education that does not happen in schools. This is an education that happens in the basement of the local church. Okay, this is an education that happens at the YMCA. Okay, it's the units that are out there. That's the neat thing about the scouting, and being gracious, especially this time of year, is very important. Now, one of the big things that I want to make sure you do is to personally thank your charter organization representative. Your charter organization literally owns your unit, so you need to be good friends with them. You should already be. So please ask them, is there anything that you could do, the troop, the pack, the crew, the ship, could do for its charter, especially this time of year. These are things we need to give back. These are the things we need to do. We need to have that relationship. We need to make sure that we wish them all the best, and we want to make sure that they thrive just like your unit thrives, whether it be a pack, a troop, a crew, does not matter. All of the units that are out there have a charter. Scouting has a tradition of celebrating the holidays, Christmas, Hanukkah, all the different holidays. That is so part of the history of scouting. If you look back at the old boys' life, known as Scout Life today, they had a whole December issue developed for many years for about all the different things about everything from, I don't know, Christmas trees to skiing to all the winter sports. They have a specialty one for Olympics. History of that is amazing. So definitely check out some of that online. I will do my best to find a link and place it below in the description of this video where it says more. That's where that is. And I should have a link down there, so check it out. Now, when you're putting together activities for whatever kind of thing that you want to put together as far as your winter celebration, it's important to think about some of the scout skills, whether it be knot tying so that the Santa Claus can get the reindeer together, and then using the different, the 7 knots that every scout should know. Those type of knot tying relays are a wonderful way to kind of reinforce that skill. That's an important thing. With that, the scout should be allowed to do different activities. One of my friends on YouTube has a channel that's dedicated towards Cub Scouts, and he did a video on that very thing. So I'm going to put a link right up there, little Christmas gift. And Matthew has actually got a lot of really neat suggestions for a Cub Scout pack gathering. And you know what? You could do that for a troop too. Just don't tell them you got it from the Cub Scouts. But still, that's the thing. You can definitely put together quite an activity and have a lot of fun doing it. Encourage balancing of the schedule. This can be overwhelming, especially this time of year. Don't pick several days in each week. I mean, you want one day. That's all you get. One evening. Let's put it that way. So you got to make it count. That's the thing. You don't want to overwhelm the parents. They've got a lot going on right now. And you want something that they can come to and relax, okay, and enjoy the evening. Make it a photo moment with Santa or whatever activity you've put together. That is the thing. it's kind of a time for the parents to take a break and enjoy the season. So don't overwhelm the parents. You can overwhelm the kids. don't overwhelm the parents. They're already at their limit. They've been stretched out. So trying to make sure that the activities are fun and they're not in a competition. So that could be very stressful, especially this time of year. And it's true throughout the year. You want to make sure that you are doing things appropriately so you don't stress out your parents. In fact, there's a video about the 1 hour a week myth. So that's something we talked about then. It's to make sure that your adults and your parents do not get overwhelmed. And that is very important to keep in mind when you're scheduling. Don't try to schedule too much. And remind in a troop situation, remind the Patrol Leaders Council that there's limitations. They can't control every minute of that calendar. So they need to leave a lot of space in between different things and only let them at max do one big activity a month. So you have to keep controls on it because there's other things going on in life. Scouting is important. It's very important, I believe. But it shouldn't be overwhelming. And that's the key. Don't make it overwhelming. Try to space it out. Try to make sure that there's time in between so that they can catch their breath, especially Cub Scouts. Now, the message for the season should be that the Scout Law and the Scout Oath put together kind of mirror a lot of the things within the Christmas season. That is a wonderful thing when you look at it from the standpoint that the Scout Oath believes in God and country, the community, to helping others. This is huge. Those are the first two big promises in that Scout Oath. The last one is a promise to yourself, and that's physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. So those three big promises really mirror up to what the Christmas season, the Christmas message is all about. And this goes right along with, our big do a good turn daily. That's huge. The little knot at the bottom is to remind us to do that good turn. That is a huge thing that's needed so that we can really do the Scout message and really bring home a good meaning for the season. And that's a wonderful thing. You do so much for your Scouts, and it's really important that you think about this year, this past year, all the different things you've accomplished and all the things you're going to accomplish for next year, all your goals. This is the time that we look back and we look at those successes and we look at the successes of tomorrow. And you do a lot for Scouting, and I'm so very, very proud of you. Please keep up the good work and definitely have a good Christmas season and a Merry Christmas to everyone. And I'm with you in spirit. And definitely do that. If you're curious about the Scout Law, there is a great video about who wrote it right over there. Till next time, I'll see you on the ever so snowy trail.